Cult leaders. They're the cool older brother of clergymen. They fornicate like the Fonz while wearing a jacket, smoke on filters, and introduce you to cool music like mindless self-indulgence. Being a cult leader is what everyone wants in life. It means being heard, legally evading taxes, and smashing box like the Fonz. It's what I aspired to be as a teen, and to be frank, I thought I'd be by now in life. But leading your pack into the arms of a vague yet hyper-specific deity figure has its downsides. You gotta know how to ease disappointment when your self-prophesized prophecies don't materialize. The government is always trying to take your stockpile of guns out of the hands of you and your technically child soldiers. And even the Fonz got sad sometimes. But what happens when a madman from the future uses the power of telekinesis to convince you that the end of the world is nigh? Well, believe him with all of your money. He's from the future, so he's gotta know. So what if he's from the 31st century? You're not gonna make it to tomorrow. Ain't that the dream? But my name is James.
I'm Nicole.
And this is Mostly Speaking Sentai. Oh, yes, guys, I have learned the powers of kunoichi, and yes, guys, that includes the Venus flytrap technique. If you go inside of me, I will turn your finger blue by, I guess, either suffocation, what's it called when your finger... Circulation cut off. Thank you, person I haven't introduced yet. But you guys know who this person is. I introduced
myself.
Oh, yeah, I guess technically in the show, yes. It's either the circulation is cut off or I'm able to, pinch you so hard that I can stab you in the back, or I drain your life of you. I'm not sure because this movie... Sexy Ninja, Ninja Pussycat didn't really explain to me what the Venus flytrap technique meant. Was it just being very good at kegels, or is it something more than that? I'm not sure. I'm kind of fizzling out. No, I'm not. I did this on purpose. And speaking of people, speaking of, hey, it's Nicole.
Wow. I think you just turned into me for a second.
Well, no, because I was just talking about, strong vaginas. So I was like, well, I can't just say, and speaking of that.
Oh, you were trying to segue.
Yes, I was trying to segue and not do it in a rude, crass, and quite frankly, so sensual our listeners will bust away.
Okay.
Nicole Jacobs.
Hi.
Nicole, I realize that we don't need labels, I don't need to call you my common law that's got me in all awe. I don't need to call you my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. You're just Nicole and the person I live life with and intertwined with.
Yeah.
You want to introduce our guest?
Wow, okay. Not prepared for this at all.
I meant, do you want us to introduce them, right now? Do you want to get into that part? Hey, guys, I'm from That Other Toku Podcast. We've been on that twice, so you've already heard his voice before. Of course, all our listeners have listened to that episode, and if you haven't, I'm going to squish you real good. It's Proto-Sonic.
Hello. That was a really nice intro. Yes, we did 2 episodes together. They're still up there. Come on, people. If you like Kamen Rider Zio and you like Kamen Rider Shin, you're going to love these movies because we talked about them, and I don't want to even say anything else about those episodes. You got to listen to them yourself.
Or you could just say, hey, if you like Nicole and James, or if you like the smooth voice that you're hearing right now from Proto, you're going to love this episode.
Yeah.
Exactly. Smooth like butter.
Proto, you are a teacher, correct?
Yes.
What subject do you teach?
I teach math and science, with the middle school. And honestly, it's a really fun time. You're dealing with kids at that age group where it's they're still growing, but they're also they still want to be treated like kids, but they also want to act like adults as well. And it's make a choice. It's going to take you some time to make that choice, but I'm going to help you at least decide on what you want to do with your life.
All you have to do to earn their respect is say a swear word in front of them.
That or not argue with them. I already tell them I tell them off the bat, my goal is to not argue with you. And
Yeah.
I like to have discussions, but if you want to argue with me, I'm just going to be like, okay, that's on you. Argue with yourself.
Have you had to deal with a flat earther?
No, I have not.
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you had to deal with a girthy earther?
No, neither one of those. Definitely going to be very interesting this year with the whole pandemic and hopefully, anti-vaxxers. That's a totally different subject for another day. But just as a reminder for people, if you feel comfortable getting the vaccine, get the vaccine. Wear a mask if you're going outside. Be safe. That's the big thing. Be safe out there.
I think even if you're uncomfortable getting it, get strapped down and just juice up, guys. Steroids included. Because if your muscles are strong enough, they'll be able to like squish the virus out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're uncomfortable, I guess, with this vaccine, start taking steroids, start lifting weights, because just taking steroids isn't going to help. If you just eat whey protein, it's not going to bulk you up. It might just bulk you out.
Swallow a UV flashlight.
Yeah, that too.
While it's turned on.
Yes. And then don't drink bleach, but pour it on you while working
Bathe
out.
with it.
Yes. Oh,
no, just mist yourself with it.
This is what you should do. Like a wash station at a restaurant, you have the wash, the rinse, and then the sanitize. It's just a little bit of bleach. Mm-hmm. That's what everyone, here's what we do. We need a 3-tub situation in every home.
Sanitize yourself in a pickle bucket full of bleach.
But diluted. Not straight bleach, which is a natural occurring thing. Everyone knows that. It comes out of like hot springs. It's hot springs, but bleach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everyone knows that. Just like there's beetles who can shoot fire. There's also beetles that can swim in bleach.
Okay.
Proto, as a science teacher, thoughts?
I don't got no thoughts on that one. I'm trying not to lose brain cells in the process.
Okay. Well, Proto, it's time for a fan favorite segment. We haven't done it in a long time, but we have Proto on, whose name is Proto Sonic. So let's get ready for another segment of Finger, Marry, Kill. I am going to, Proto Sonic, give you a series of 3 Sonic characters, and I'm going to ask you, Finger, Marry, Kill. Do you understand the rules?
I understand the last 2 parts, but I don't know what the finger part means.
Like your finger blast or finger bang.
Okay.
Finger massage.
Alrighty. That's going to be... Okay, that's going to be fine.
It's a more PG-13 way of saying fuck, marry, kill.
Okay.
And yet at the same time...
somehow worse.
Yes. Okay, so coming up, Nicole, you can play along as well. I'm guessing, I guess if you don't know any of these, Proto will be able to tell you, give a description of who these people are. So first, Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Finger, Marry, Kill.
Oh, God. You had to start with those 3. I would say Tails, Kill, Knuckles, Finger, Marry, Sonic. I don't know.
Wow, yours is...
Marry Knuckles.
Oh, you guys are completely different than mine. I would marry Tails, kill Knuckles, Finger Sonic.
Wow.
Tails is such a sweetie.
Exactly. That's why you have to murder.
Tails will come back.
I'm a sweetie.
Infinite lives.
Sorry, gotta go.
Yeah. If he's player 2, he'll just keep coming back. So I guess you can't kill him.
Yeah, well, that's why I picked that as kill. Be like, oh, that'd be easy. Just one and done.
It's impossible. You can't.
That's
next
true.
one.
All right, next one. We have Robotnik, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Metal the Hedgehog. Or Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic. Okay. I was like, Metal Hedgehog, Metal Sonic.
Kill Robotnik.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Kill Robotnik. Finger Shadow.
Marry Shadow.
And marry Metal. Because he'll have no emotions
and
towards
Finger Metal.
I was going to say get fingered by Metal because he's a machine.
He's a walking, talking vibrator, bitch.
He says, Sonic, I will finger. And Sonic's like, oh, hell yeah, dude. I've been waiting for my prostate to be rubbed.
Oh, my God.
All right, next one. We have Amy, Sally Acorns, and the voluptuous Rouge the Bat. Rouge.
All the way.
For what?
Okay. Okay, so marry Sally, because of course, princess, get the wealth and everything. Finger Amy and kill Rouge.
No.
Just because vampire, you don't know. Be a vampire. We got some Dracula kind of situation going on here.
Nicole, would you milk Rouge at all?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So what's yours?
And then I would kill Amy.
Whoa. Dang. Savage. All right, next up. We're going chaotic with this one. We have Vector the Crocodile, Espio the Chameleon, and Charmy B.
I don't know any of those.
Charmy's going to need to die.
Oh, no.
Charmy's going to die with that one. Albeit, if this was Knuckles Chaotix, which I do speed run, I'll be out of luck right there because it's like, oh yeah, we won't be able to finish the game as fast. But I'm willing to make the sacrifice. So Charmy's, he's got to go.
Heck. Just like all the other bees in the world.
No.
Yes. Mary, Vector, Finger, Espio.
Hell yeah. Nicole, just based off from, would you... okay.
Kill Espio. I don't know what that is.
A chameleon.
Marry
A
a
ninja
alligator and finger a bumblebee because it sounds funny.
Okay. I was going to say, hey, if you don't know them, just finger, marry, kill a crocodile, a chameleon, a bee, and then that's what you did. All right, I have one last one, and we're going underground for this one.
Okay.
Sania, Maniac, and their mother, Queen Alina.
Okay.
The third one was going to be Jaleel White, but I was like, no, let's go the Queen.
Okay, so marry the queen.
Ooh.
Kill Manic.
What? He's a cool guy.
Okay, so what? And then the last one, of course, will be with Sonia. Finger.
Whoa. I just finger them all, guys.
Wow.
Because I make the rules.
So
I don't follow them. Oh, Proto, I apologize.
Oh.
No, it's cool. Once again, I really had to think about that in that perspective. I'm like, oh crap, I never thought of it that way.
This will be edited so tightly that it's like, oh, I immediately know all of these.
Right.
Okay.
So, just so everyone knows, he put a lot of thought into that. It's not a crazy person who's like, oh man, I have live journal accounts dedicated to this.
No, this is not those. It's not a fan fiction kind of thing.
I wonder if what we could do is make a bracket out of this and take all the people you killed and see who you would kill out of the kill people. All the people, like, who is the most killable, the most fingerable, and the most marryable.
Okay, like a battle royale kind of deal. Okay, that'll be actually kind of interesting. I think Knuckles will be able to overpower some of them. Shout outs to Knuckles gang with our speedrunning community. Because, everybody always talks about Sonic and, there's Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3, but gotta give Knuckles some love too. I mean, the dude really does a lot.
I think Tails is OP. He's a little cutie and a sweetie, and when he showed up at the end of the movie, I was like,
Yes, that too. I mean, I'm thinking like on the game perspective, it's like, yeah, this dude is in charge of an entire island. His entire race is gone for the most part. Unless you play that DS RPG game, which I do own it. I've never actually played it, but apparently the Echidna race, they got themselves killed off or sent somewhere else, and he's the last one of his species, and he has to watch over a giant emerald. And if he doesn't, if it gets stolen, oh yeah, the island just falls from the sky and just floods everything.
Hell yeah, that's what should happen.
Oh.
And of course, they always are connected to those Chaos Emeralds.
Because just think about this. he should let it be stolen. He should steal it himself because all of a sudden he's got beachfront property.
Okay, that too. I mean, it's very interesting. Like, I know we're not even talking about Sentai or anything yet, but it's very interesting. Like when it comes down to Knuckles with his background and everything, like Sonic, I'm gonna say Sonic Advance, but Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, he can shrink the Master Emerald down. He can break it apart. He can sense the energy from it. Hence why in Knuckles Chaotix, his own game on the 32X, which is like the crappiest add-on to a dying Genesis system. He has to go look for the Chaos Rings or the Holy Rings in Japan. That's what they're called. And it's like, oh yeah, the energy from the last game, the Master Emerald, like the energy activated these rings. And he's there for that reason. Espio and Charmy are there for just walking around, get captured. Vector's there for God. That's why they call them Holy Rings. It's like he's there for God.
Well, the crocodile?
Yes. So you learned something new today.
Would you rather see Knuckles in the second Sonic movie or in the third, so then it follows the trilogy?
I'm fine with it being in the second one, with him being in the second one. More likely they're going to do that anyway. Mm-hmm. But if they were to have him in the third one, that would be really nice as well. Because, you're hitting that trilogy of Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. And yes, we're going to say 3 and Knuckles. We're going to clip them together in a nice, neat bow. Mm-hmm. And it will be interesting because I'm honestly excited to see what this second movie is going to be about, in a lot more detail. Well, look, I've seen the first one. I really do want to see the second.
Man, that first one, the greatest movie of 2020.
Yeah, I think on Twitter, I said this. I think I did put that as my number one movie of 2020, albeit because not a lot of movies came out in 2020. It was like, oh yeah, this is automatically going to go to the top anyway.
I think it's that and Psycho Goreman. Those are the two OPs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But speaking of things that are OP, time traveling. Oh my God, Proto Sonic. This series, Timeranger, that's what we'll be discussing today, of course, is about time travel. So if you could go back in time, you don't have to worry. You cannot kill anyone. So you can just take off I could stop tragedies by just murdering someone as a child, strangling a baby as you would.
Okay, yeah, we're not going to go baby Thanos on it.
Yeah, so what would you do and why?
If I could go back in time, I would probably go, and ironically, I was just watching some videos from the Company Man about these different restaurants and different brands and everything. I would probably go back and I would say I would take I'm trying to remember the name of I can't remember the name of it, but take one of the ice cream formulas from you ever heard of Eddie's and yeah. So I recently just watched a video about that, Eddie's and I forgot the other name of the other one. Not Briars. Dryers. I mean, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Dryers is in the West Coast. Eddie's and Dryers are under the same name. So I would definitely like to take the formula or take the ingredients and see how this person did it and then do it myself so then I could get all that money and become that famous business person who made ice cream and everything. That's having millions of dollars.
It's not, hey, let's go back in time, we'll buy stocks in Yahoo. It's like, no, I want to build an empire of ice cream and I love that.
Yeah, I would say I would probably do that or, go look at the original IKEA and just take all that and see if I could replicate that before they ever come to the United States.
Dang, you're sharking companies.
That would be the easier thing to do. I mean, because stock, if I went back all the way to the 1920s, it's stocks ain't gonna mean nothing at some point because of the Great Depression.
But if you buy bonds, I think those, if you kept them up until now, they would still be able to be sold back to the government for a lot of money.
Yeah, depending on the maturity of them as well. So,
and also you'd have to start thinking, well, I would need to bring gold back with me because I wouldn't be able to buy with the money I currently have.
Exactly. So that would be something to really think about.
I thought you were originally, when you were like, oh, I would like go back, and I was watching stuff about like brands and companies. I thought you were going down the line of like, I just want to go back to a mall in 86 because that'd be pretty fun.
Oh, that'll be the next. If I couldn't do those two things, I would probably definitely go back to like 70s or 80s Blockbuster, that kind of stuff.
Or a mom and pop one.
Yeah, mom and pop one. Be Kind Rewind.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do the identity theft thing and just be like, oh, let me just stack up this late fee for like 30, 40 years and be like, oh, I have this late fee to a store that doesn't exist anymore.
Grab a Clay Fighters 63 1/3 sculptor cuts from Blockbuster, come back in time, and then all of a sudden you have $10,000 games in your collection.
Oh, yeah, that'll be good too. Or as well, go back to different time. Like if I could just constantly keep jumping around, like this is Quantum Leap.
Or Trancers.
Yep. I would definitely be trying to get those like Spider-Man Web of Fire on the 32X, like all those rare games and never open them and then sell them for like hundreds and thousands of dollars.
Go back in time, buy an Action Comics #1 for cover price.
Yes. And then
6 of
make
them.
the money.
Or just buy all of them and then destroy all the copies except for like one copy.
That'd be pretty cool. Be destructive.
Because it'll make it rarer.
That's true. I'm also thinking about building my wealth. So do I want to do it in the nice way or the chaotic way?
The Knuckles chaotics way.
Okay, what's next on the docket?
Oh,
James?
yeah, guys. We watched today episode 41 of Timeranger entitled Expose the Prophet. And here's a quick rundown of this episode. There's a cult. They seem pretty actually like chill and cool. And they're saying, hey, they're stealing people's money, but not really. They're providing them lodging and a salon and pretty cool lot. Like the architecture of this building that they're in is great. I don't see anything wrong with what they're doing besides that it is technically under fraudulent terms, even though this
pyramid
man is.
Scheme.
Yeah. Wait, no, it's not even a pyramid scheme.
It felt like I wrote that in my notes. I'm like, is this a pyramid scheme?
No, they're just straight up
he's
giving
just,
money.
Yeah.
It's a cult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because a pyramid scheme is, like a multi-level marketing stuff, right?
That's when like they sell you product
And
that
then you have to sell.
Then have to sell.
And then if you get other people aboard, you get money as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds. During the episode, and I really love how with Timeranger, they're really supposed to be like space cops, or not space cops. That's space sheriff, which that's a totally different series.
They're time cops.
They're time cops. There we go. They're
Like
time
trancers.
cops. It was really interesting how the episodes are called cases, and I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. I didn't even pay attention to that. And of course, as well, you mentioned how they have like a salon. They have like basically lodging. They can eat there and stuff like that. And he also got a gym. And it's like, shout out to the one dude doing calisthenics and pulling off like the Avatar The Last Airbender move like Azula does with her feet, like shooting the firebending from her feet.
But they find out about this, the Timeranger. Kyosuke and Yuri are tasked with infiltrating it. She gets captured. He saves her. And all along, Domon's being a little scamp with the rest of them. Timeranger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I haven't really watched Timeranger, which I'm like, oh, I can just watch it on Shout Factory on their app or whenever they show it on Twitch. But I'm like, oh, I didn't realize you can just go on the website and watch it for free. But that was really nice, though.
Even the app you can.
Oh, okay. Well, see, this kind of helps me out, especially when the school year starts, Japanese Culture Club. It'll be nice to be like, hey, let's watch some tokusatsu. And as long as we can watch it for free, I'm happy, as long as it's free and legal.
Oh, yeah. Also on Tubi TV. You can watch it there. As well as those Kamen Rider episodes they got popping off. But, Nicole, what's a first note you got?
Domon is in love.
With? The Pocky?
Honami, the reporter lady.
I thought you were talking about the Pocky he was eating.
No, I mean, we can also talk about that. He was like, it was like the breadstick version of that. And he was just like shoving it in everyone's mouths and then like eating it out of their mouth.
Like they're kissing because he's so in love.
It was,
very Lady and the Tramp like, minus spaghetti.
but he just like kept doing it.
Also very Meet the Deedles minus the earthworms.
Sure, yeah.
Hell yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, he first did it to Tatsuya before he left. Then he did it to Doman, and Doman was like creeped out. He's like, oh, just quit doing this. And then did
You
it to
mean
Tak.
Sion.
Yeah, Sion. Yeah, no, Doman does it to himself. He after image techniques.
Yeah, okay.
And then he does it to Tak, and that one's very funny.
Yeah. The robot owl.
Yeah. Protosonic, what's your next note?
My first note was, how does a robot blow bubbles? Because I know it was that first scene. It was like, I don't know the character's name. I remember Time Force. I can't remember the name of that character on there. But it's just like, he's just sitting there blowing bubbles.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, how is he blowing bubbles?
It's
like,
his cooling fan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's a nice cooling fan. He needs to, put himself into a PC and help cool down a lot of these GPUs that are frying from Amazon games.
Yeah.
Oh, the Stevia games?
No, with Amazon, it's like they have this game coming out called New Worlds, and apparently it's just frying 3090 GPUs.
Dang. I think that's aggressive.
It is.
You guys, what do you think the doomsday will be like? Like, if there is an apocalyptic thing, what do you hope it will be for the end of the world?
Oh, gosh.
I would say let's make it 2012 style, where it's like you have the potential to get away. Maybe you'll see an old ladies in the car that as the road starts coming up, it's like, oh, boom.
Oh, no.
That'd be kind of cool in that sense. I mean, at least you have a chance to get away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a Sharknado would be pretty dope.
But a Sharknado is going to ruin the entire... It's just like like Sam and Max hit the road style. It's just always on the map circling around.
Yeah, there's just like a bunch of them.
See, I went more for the cataclysmic kind of thing. I mean, with Sharknado, it's like, okay, just have weapons ready. We can stop them until we run out of weapons.
Also, everyone knows if you throw enough dynamite into a tornado, it stops.
Yeah.
I think it really does. I feel like if you were to throw dynamite into a tornado, it would stop it.
I don't know
But the
about
thing
that.
is, remember, King of the Hill, Bobby threw an egg in a tornado and it came right back at him. So you're expecting dynamite to go in the same direction.
Okay, if you dropped a missile onto a tornado, the tornado would stop. It would disperse the energy out.
That's kind of true. I mean, but you have to get kind of close to that.
Also, like,
Yeah, you like drop it from an airplane.
Yeah, but you got to be able to. You got to be higher than the tornado. Then you don't want to be caught in the wind.
Yeah, tornadoes aren't tall, like super tall. They're not cloud tall.
Okay, so they're not like hurricane tall.
All right, let's check. Yeah, this
Oh my
is
God.
not a shark hurricane. You guys figure it out.
also, if it's dynamite, that means you have to light it. Wouldn't it just like go out because the winds
my
are so
God.
strong? It would just put the fuse out?
Tornadoes can be 45,000 feet to 80,000 feet. So let's see, how high do airplanes fly? Well, we're fucked, guys.
We're fucked.
30,000 feet is where they're up.
Exactly. We would need the like Jeff Bezos rocket.
Just get a grenade launcher.
That too. Contra
into
style.
a tornado.
Like once again, we gotta just throw logic out the window and throw it in the tornado as well.
Well, okay. We have landmines on the ground. And when it comes, like...
When the tornado steps on the
Yeah, when it goes over it, you dunce. It goes...
Yeah.
And you can, like, trigger the landmines.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're still keeping a distance, trying to stay away from shrapnel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just throw the Hulk in there. He'll be able to punch out.
Yes. Okay, you could do that.
Hulk
Or we can
smash.
get Iron Man. Or we can get Iron Man and the Hulk if we got Smart Hulk to create a weather machine to reverse it.
Why wouldn't you just get Storm to stop it?
That's true. We could have got Storm. Or let's say if we were in the DC world, let's get Superman or the Flash, just spin around the tornado.
But that would create an inverse tornado and kill us all.
Then we'll have Superman run in the opposite direction, or like fly around the world opposite direction in reverse time.
Guys, I'm just saying, you get a big old thing of dynamite, you put that in the ground a little bit, then you pull the lever when it gets close, and I swear, it just seems Sharknado had the logic there of like, hey, if we throw explosives into that, it should disperse the energy that is going out. It's from a science teacher's opinion.
Sure.
Would that work?
Hope no kids are listening to this. I'm going to say no.
No.
Didn't they have like one of those Sharknado movies where it like the Sharknado went into space?
Probably.
I think so.
I mean, we've like Fast 9, they went into space, so it's like, hey, anything's possible.
All right, I am Googling right now, would exploding a tornado stop it? We could disperse a tornado by firing a rocket into it. This is from scienceabc.com, so it is like a legitimate science thing. Yes. Okay, let me make sure it's not.
Did Mythbusters
did throw a bunch of dynamite into it. Okay, let's double check, make sure that Science ABC isn't an Onion offshoot.
Can we talk about Sentai now?
This was Sentai. I want the end of the world to be cool.
Shit, what's her name? Yuri?
Yuri
is mad because Tatsuya is flirting with a tour lady when they go undercover, and Domon made jokes about how they're gonna fall in love or whatever.
It seems like Domon, I think that's the Yellow Ranger, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, as he said, love has its obstacles, so this might just be their obstacle for love.
Exactly.
Also, he is doing his job. They came in as just friends. He is trying to learn more about this entire faction, this cult. So why wouldn't he be chummy and be like, yes, let me partake in the things that these other people in this cult are doing, and eventually
he distracts the tour lady while she goes to do shit.
Yeah, I'm upset.
But then she gets mad because he doesn't come find her when she goes missing.
But
which she could have just like tipped over that chair just by like rocking.
Mm-hmm.
She could have
done so much stuff.
Just tipped it over.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I love how, because I wrote in my notes during that scene, like, oh, when she got caught, it's like, oh, she went from the east to the west, back to the east, back to the west. Shout out to Chisel Adonis with that joke right there, because like she was getting tossed left and right,
mm-hmm.
with psychic powers.
She also could have used kunoichi.
God damn it, James.
To take down that bolt. The Fuma style, which is just inhaling with your vagina, maybe?
The Hakuo ends up being a dummy, which I wrote Dadoi. And then, she ends up getting tied up where the dummy was and almost gets shot with a crossbow.
How come you always say the boy on the podcast?
The boy?
Yeah. You always say Dadoy.
Okay.
Is making something float really mind-altering?
Yes.
I guess, like, we've all seen David Blaine just float in midair and people do freak the fuck. But, like, no one's like, oh my god, he's a god, I'm gonna start worshiping him.
Exactly.
Maybe, like, sexually. Like, his partners might.
But, like, if that's the angle he was going for, I bet people would.
Damn, David Blaine could rule the world.
You know what I'm saying?
David Blaine and Justin Willman, for real wizards, and be aware when you're around them.
Yes.
The monster, I don't think I wrote down what they're called.
Taurus.
Stratus?
Yeah, Stratus.
They look like a Kingdom Hearts boss.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Definitely, yes.
And it's really cool.
Talk says, these fake prophets exist in every era. And I was like, man, they are roasting people.
Nice. Those
I've
are
been
all my
interested
notes.
for them to see 2012, where it's like the Mayans said it's going to end in 2012. And it's like, we're still here. It's
Still here, son.
I can't get into it fully, but this person, this prophet, is technically right. And that's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Do you think any of the launderers that were taken out of their prison, they were like unfreeze compressed, do you think any of them have flown underneath the radar, and even after the Timeranger are done in this era, they're still there and they're like, oh, I guess I'm just a criminal in this era now?
I think it's possible.
I would love that. Just like how you said you would have loved to see a follow-up to Car Ranger where it's the Bozak, what are they doing on Earth?
Yeah.
And kind of get a slice of life with Zonette and, wow, why can't I remember his name? The main Bozak just doing their restaurant stuff.
Yeah.
That would have been so sweet. I would love to see, like, hey, there's some Timeranger guys or Launderez. Just we get a cool noir crime shit, you know, like the Punisher, and they're like, oh, I'm the coolest criminal in the world. Then Tatsuya comes in with a bunch of guns and just do, you killed my daughter, do. Because it's like the Punisher.
Sure.
Well, if someone killed a family member of yours, would you go vigilante?
I mean, more likely, yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I don't know what vigilante I would be. I could be Daredevil, but I would have to be blind. But I would still, I mean, that would be kind of cool, though. I don't know if I would like to do Punisher, because Punisher, you got to get shot in the head, too. So you can be like, oh, I survived.
I'd love to be a Spawn or a Brimstone type.
Okay, with Spawn, you got to die.
Yeah, but but then you see hell and you're cool with the devil.
Yeah,
that's my dream. That is truly what I hope happens when I die. Like, I go to hell, but they're like, hey, you're cool, man. And I know, like, you can do, because the devil isn't bad. The devil, all he is a warden for truly the most vile people in the universe. And to say that isn't, and I'm not talking like puritanical type shit. It's like people who legitimately murdered for fun, murdered innocent people, did other vile, heinous crimes. That's like, like it's not a black and white, a morality stuff. No. Like, they're vile creatures. That's what the devil is. If you're saying to me that you wouldn't like to be the devil's, even if it's just like, I'm trying to think of a different way to say right hand man, but like many down. Mm-hmm. I would say hell yeah.
Henchman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A warrior of Satan, knights in Satan's service.
Okay, I'm scared.
That's Kiss. Gene Simmons.
I hope that just there's nothing.
What?
When you die, it's just nothing happens.
Me and you slaying down demons? He fixes your back, Nicole.
Great.
Proto, I am so sorry if this is scaring you.
No, it's cool.
He's like, oh no, what did I sign up for?
And I'm just like, I'm just going to listen for a moment. That's all I'm doing. I'm like, I'm just going to listen. I love the interaction.
And to any listeners, I am being serious. This is not me playing this up for comedic purposes. This is what I hope happens when I die. I hope who's Greg?
Why haven't you saved this for when we watch Bible Man?
Oh, I don't know. I'll talk about it on Bible Man too. Who's the person in The Good Place who's like, he got it close. Like, he's the closest who has ever gotten it.
I don't know.
I don't remember the dude.
Never seen it. Never seen that show.
Oh, you should check it out. It's pretty good. I got hair in my mouth. It's hard to yell with that nasty hair in my mouth. What's up?
The one thing when I'm thinking about with Time Force, I'm always thinking about the Power Ranger equivalent of it. Like, you got Eric, the Quantum Ranger. Is like, he does a lot. Like, in this episode, I'm like, oh, wow, the Time Fire, he didn't do a lot. It was just like, he's just there. It's like, I'm just going to stand here, tell people to leave. Or let me morph and then get my ass whooped. Oh, wait, let me call the V-Rex and you fight. And it's like, well, V-Rex didn't do nothing. And he's still standing there like, people, go home.
They're in other episodes. He's kind of intolerable on how much he butts in.
But he was kind of cool popping in with the revolver. It's like,
yeah.
oh yeah,
Well,
I'm about to throw this sword. Oh, revolver beast sword.
Revolt, yes. Yeah. He shows up and they're like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I don't know, these guys seem creepy. So I've been following them.
And then he's like, why are you guys here? And then turns into like a laundress. And he's like, oh, okay, I understand now.
Yeah, it was good.
Because he probably just thought they were there cleaning because
Sure.
was a funny joke in the beginning. He shows up to this cult performing in a private property and he's like, you need to leave. But like, he's looking at the Timeranger, like, and they like point at their cleaning materials and he's like, oh, they're just here to clean.
And once again, it's really nice to see that these Rangers are like, they actually have jobs. And it's like, oh crap, we need money so that we can, eat and live and have a place to actually stay in.
Yeah, we got into that yesterday or last week of how they should be being sent rations through time portals because it's kind of fucked up that they are on the clock. They are earning money in the future, but right now they can't use any of that and have to do menial labor while also having a second job of fighting crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we kind of wonder what are their taxes going to look like in the year 3001?
Oh, they're probably going to be, I don't know, 90% government's trying to take everything.
Yeah.
I hope that was apparent that I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
As I'm talking to someone who gets paid with tax dollar money.
What did you think of the mech fight?
The mech fight, well, I forgot what it was called. I think it was like Delta Formation Shadow Mode. That did look really cool. I thought the fight was relatively short when it came down to it. Definitely thought that, like, I like the pulse cannon that Time Red had. It's like, oh yeah, I get this pulse cannon now, and I get to pretend like I'm shooting you when the mech is actually shooting you. Once again, as I said, V-Rex did absolutely nothing during that fight. It just came in like a wrecking ball, like I'm angry.
Yeah,
it's like
got whipped around with
works, and it's like that would actually be. It makes me think of Matilda a little bit. It was like, oh yeah, let me just eat this. Let me try to yeet this kid out the window. It's like, oh wait, telekinesis. Oh, the kid's flying now.
That movie's bizarre.
It's that movie's amazing. Love
so
that
fucking good.
But still bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And Danny DeVito's a king.
I guess.
No, his Matilda and her mom were, the actor and her mom were like on hard times, and I believe put them up during the entire production and like made their lives comfortable. And there's a lot of stories like that with him.
Mm-hmm.
Learn something new today.
And also, his brother is the Governator. They're twins.
Twins.
Oh, wow.
And he helped deliver Arnold's baby out of Arnold's body.
Have you ever actually watched that movie, James?
Yeah, I've watched both of them.
Oh, okay.
It was one of my favorite movies as a kid, both of them. Twins and Junior.
Okay.
I was always like, how did he get pregnant? I don't understand.
I had to put two and two together. I'm like, what? And I'm like, oh, wait, I've heard of that movie before. Never seen it, but I've heard of that movie.
You should watch them. They're great.
No, I'll pass.
I was like, I will take some time at some point. I got a little bit of my summer left, so might as well start watching some movies and enjoying them.
Hell yeah. All right, Proto, we have one last question to ask you. The Launderez, they all have crimes. They have a alias and they have their crime. You know, like this dude was, I don't even remember I think they just called him Strauss. He is the only one who hasn't had one of those like that. But, you know, it would be like bank robber Gerald, you know, things like that. I can't remember any of the names of any of these characters. They're not as memorable as Ranger. But if you were in Timeranger, what would your crime and what would your alias be?
I don't know what my alias would be. If I had to think of a crime, especially like in the year 3000, like I had to do something that really got me.
Oh no, this is today.
Oh, today. I'll probably say like some Grand Theft, like Grand Theft Auto.
Oh,
Stuff.
okay. So proto theft auto.
There you go. Good rhyme too.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
It's what I wanted to be as a teenager, a person who rhymed well and got paid to do it.
Nice.
But that'll be something I would probably, if I had to be one of these criminals from Timeranger, that'll be that particular thing. I'll be like, oh, I steal Zords too.
That's fucking
Nice.
great. To anyone who's going to, like, proto and auto don't fully rhyme. I'm aware of that, guys. But it has a good lilt to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's some prose poets out there who's always trying to, like, come at me for rhyming. And I'm like, like to see you even try to pick up a rhyming dictionary. Your fucking hands would melt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so what? How would you take out the Timeranger as proto theft auto?
First thing that I would definitely say, I would take that V-Rex Zord
Ooh.
and just be like, let's use that. Let's just go on a rampage with it. Because like if you destroy me, you destroy the V-Rex Zord. So you gotta get creative with it. That'll be my thing at least. Like try to take them out with their own weapons and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And if that didn't work, then I'll be like, well, I tried.
Maybe someone could fly on Talk. You could Grand Theft Auto him.
Yep. Ooh, that'll be a good one. Gotta do that. Well, then, but I wouldn't want to go back to the year 3000. But I'm gonna just take more stuff from the future. It's like, no, I don't want to go back there. Go further in the past.
Mm-hmm. Or take a bunch to like steal a car, just like a Kia Sorento from the year 2001, and then go back into the future. All of a sudden, you have a very classic car in mint condition.
Yeah, so I'd be like, hey, I want this for $1 million.
I don't know if that would
more.
Yeah, I would say like I don't know if that's going to be a lot with inflation.
Well, if it's in mint condition, tires all good, and got a really great engine and transmission, it might be worth something to somebody.
It might also be illegal to use in the future because gas emissions.
There you go.
So it would all just be for show.
Well, that'll make me more of an environmental terrorist right there.
Ooh.
I'm gonna just, bam, let's just turn the car on. Carbon emission.
You pivot from Grand Theft Auto to ecological terrorist. Nicole, would you ever do that?
No.
But in like the good way, like you are a terrorist for, like in a lot of Godzilla movies, it seems like there's always or in comic books, there's always an eco-terrorist.
Sure.
Hell yeah, guys. You heard it here first.
You mean like Captain Planet?
Yeah, but Captain Planet's kind of an eco-terrorist if he were like saying, I'm going to hold the world's bank hostage if the Green Deal isn't reinstated in the United States.
We can go with Don Cheadle's Captain Planet, just turn people into trees left and right. Like, you're a tree, y'all get turned into trees.
That's terrifying.
If you don't help
But
the
also
earth out.
beautiful.
Was that a College Humor or a Funny or Die video?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I thought it was a Funny or Die video.
Okay. Probably. They had more Hollywood connections back in the day.
Yeah.
Guys, I think we're done.
Probably.
Proto,
What?
thank you so much for being on.
Hey, it is no problem. I had a lot of fun. Definitely caught me off guard with some of those questions, but it was in a good way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You've hung out with us. You should know this.
Yes, I have. I mean, we have. I mean, look, with Shin Kamen, we've talked about telepathic embryonic babies and stuff.
Yes.
And it's like in Bugmen and stuff.
Bugmain.
Mm-hmm.
There's telepathic embryos in scanners.
If you could lay a telepathic embryo, would your spouse eat it?
Oh wow, this became that's something you can't. That's just cannibalism, Nicole. Like without a step. Like if a telepathic
So
egg.
no.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
All right, cool.
My girl had a miscarriage. I had to eat it.
Okay, what the fuck?
That's a bizarre song from a D12 song.
All right.
Verse line.
All right. How are we?
Proto, what you got to plug?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, our podcast, myself and Chroneless King OP, we do our podcast every Sunday. We're taking a couple weeks of a break Hopefully by that point, we'll be rested up. I know there's a lot of stuff to talk about with Kamen Rider Revice. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah.
But our podcast is That Other Toku Podcast. You can find it on most major podcast distributors. Of course, we're on Anchor. That's one of the easiest things we could have done. Of course, our Twitter at That Toku. My Twitter is at Protosonic, Proto_Sonic, I should say, 720. I just retweet a lot of stuff and kind of just have fun with that. I do stream whenever I possibly can. More likely not this week because watching a dog. But I stream. I'm a speedrunner. I play Knuckles Chaotix, Sonic Robo Blast 2 a little bit. Starting to get back into Sonic 3D Blast. It's not all Sonic. Of course, we play some Power Ranger games on there. Definitely thinking about speedrunning Battle for the Grid. And that's at twitch.tv/Protosonic. So Proto_Sonic. And really, that is it for me when it comes down to it. Once again, thank you, James and Nicole, for having me on. Really appreciate it.
And thank you for coming.
Yeah.
We got to get Crownless on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he'll be next.
Hell yeah. Nicole, what you got to plug?
I'm Darling Homebody on social medias, mainly Instagram. Go to darlinghomebody.com for creepy, cute stuff that I make. And patreon.com/darlinghomebody for monthly sticker or magnet. I think that's it.
Hey guys, go over to mlmpod.com to find out information about my other podcasts, such as This Movie's Gay. It's a wonderful show. You'll learn about queer cinema. Then go over to patreon.com/MLMpod, where you'll get exclusive podcasts from Nicole, myself, and who's entering the arena? That's right, Lil Corey from Hit It and Crit It. Him and I have a new show coming out next week, starting in August, called This Existed, where I'm showing him movies that I have a hard time convincing people existed, starting out with Meet the Deedles. You can also get engaged with Nicolas Cage, the Toku Reading Corner, and Talking About Beyblade. That is $5 a month. But if you do $10 a month, you get extra bonus content such as watch-alongs and such, play-alongs. We've been playing along to a lot of Figure It Out. And you get shout-outs every single episode. So let's begin with that. Let's give a big ol' shout-out to Steve F., a.k.a. Hit People Guy, Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z, The Waz, Orion, he's a rapper, D-F-O, Defo, Kayla, Two Grapes, Tyler Wright, he's our friend, Elliot W. at Garlic Sunshine, and Jordan B., the Chaos Witch. And then listen to my rap music under Marshland Monster. It's a good time. I'm working on a instrumental CD of horror synthwave that's actually turning out very good. That's all I got to plug.
Awesome.
I guess I've been James.
I guess I'm Nicole.
And I'm Protosonic, and I realized James is pointing at the camera. That I'm like, oh, I don't have my camera on. But hey, this is Protosonic.
And we've been Mostly Speaking Sentai. Bye-bye. See you in class, motherfucks.
P.
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit mlmpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, guys, I might need to turn down my microphone.
Maybe.
Hey, listener, this is Protosonic, and you just heard me on Mostly Speaking Sentai. Special thanks to James and Nicole, and you can always catch myself and Crownless Kango P on our podcast, That Other Toku Podcast. It's available on most podcast distributors, and you can listen to episodes live on Twitch every Sunday. Follow us on Twitter at ThatToku. And with that said, ride on, my friends. Ride on.